there, friends. Welcome. I'm so excited to be back. In case you have not been following me, which shame on you if you haven't, I was having issues with my wrists a couple of days ago. They're feeling great now. And then I was on vacation. But that's neither here nor there because now I am back. And I'm very excited today to welcome you to It's So Tiny Miniature Painting with me. I'm not going to really waste a lot of time mumbling because I'm very excited to be painting again. So let's head down to the table and take a look at what we are painting today. Look at that. All right. So, no, we're not painting my fingers. We are painting this Primaris Space Marine. And we are going to be painting him, as you can see, in a Blood Angels style paint scheme. I'm probably not gonna go the traditional paint scheme route. I'm gonna be doing things just slightly different, but similar. It's really all we're just gonna go with it. The last time I painted a Blood Angel was when I painted this guy right here, which was actually my very first miniature that I ever painted, like 20 odd years ago. And as you can see, he has been through hell and back, literally. He is quite beat up, and but there he is. I'm very proud of him. I keep him by my painting stuff, just as a reminder of what we can accomplish when we practice a lot. So today I'm painting this Primaris. So a couple things to note before we get started. One, he is primed with Vallejo spray primer from a rattle can, and then I have put a, what is that called? A Carabin Crimson Caraberg Crimson shade all over the miniature. And I've done this in advance just to make sure that, you weren't having to wait on me to do all that. So let's zoom in a little bit, and we're just going to get right into it. Like I said, we are going to do things slightly different from the traditional color scheme. A few things to notice here. He has this really cool Terminator style mechanical arm, which we will be painting silver. He is also a sergeant, so I'm going to be painting his helmet yellow back here. I'm going to give him I don't want to say what I'm doing yet because I'm not 100% sure. So I'll just do it and go from there, okay? So we're going to start with filling in some of the details, some of the things that are going to be blocked off. So we're going to start with the skin on his face. Like I said, he's not wearing a helmet. We're going to use Bugman's Glow to get started on this. I'm going to use a number 2 paintbrush to start with, and we will go from there. We'll see kind of what happens. Know what I mean? Know what I mean, jelly beans? Alright, so you can see that down there on my palette. So it looks like we still have no subscribers here on the channel. So if you are able to give us a subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. That would be super, super cool. I don't usually use Bugman's Glow as my first layer for skin. I usually just go straight for the Acadian flesh tone, but we're being bold today. I am so excited to be painting again. I have not painted in well over a week. So this is nice. This is nice to be painting again. I think the last thing I painted was it a G.I. Joe? It was a G.I. Joe. And that was, what, last Tuesday? And I was in a lot of pain still from my wrists when... Was it last Tuesday? Yeah, it was last Tuesday. So I'm just excited to be painting and not be in pain. Sorry, I should probably zoom out. I might be too close. Whoop, that's even closer. There we go. Alright, so we got that Bugman's Glow on there. I just need to see if I need to get it a little more colored here. So when I first was introduced to Warhammer, back when I was 18, I'm 39 now, so 21 years ago, my friends and I bought, I believe it was a 3rd edition starter kit, and I took the Space Marines and somebody else took the other army. I think it was Dark Eldar. And somehow I ended up with all of it, so I ended up with the Dark Eldar and the Space Marines. But I thought the Blood Angels looked the coolest, so I got some red paint and some black paint, and then I don't know if you can see it here in the picture, there's some orange. That's me attempting to do flames, again, just because I thought it was cool. As you can see, I failed miserably. Not going to do flames on this guy. Let's get some... I think we need some black here. Yeah, let's get some... I thought about doing some German gray. Maybe I will, actually. I use the German gray here. Yeah, let's use the German gray. I gotta have some German gray in the model anyway, because that's just what I do. So we're going to use German gray. It is a Vallejo color here. Let me show you. Vallejo's German gray. And I'm realizing that I am running out of room on my desk, which is never good. I use my paint stirrer here off to the side. You might see some stuff shaking. And let's add some of that to my palette. It comes out thick, so I don't really need a lot. I always end up putting too much on my palette. I'll water it down a little bit. And recently I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said that his first color scheme for Space Marines was also Blood Angel, which didn't surprise me much because him and I are practically the same person. And that kind of inspired me to kind of do a Blood Angel. Especially because I haven't painted a Space Marine in quite some time. And I haven't painted a Blood Angel in a bajillion years. So right now I'm trying to find the the spaces in his suit, like here behind the legs. He doesn't have a ton of them because of his stance. He has some, but not a ton. So I'm just trying to find those here in his armor. Right now the goal is just to get paint on all of the spaces, basically blocking out all of the colors that I want. Okay. Probably too big of a paintbrush for this space. Probably need to switch to a smaller paintbrush here. Yeah, let me get a smaller brush. Let's see, how small do I want to go? Let's try a 1 for now. I'm sorry, this is a 0. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on this fake wood that I have here, but this is the first time I'm painting pain-free in 2 months. So it's pretty nice. Like I said, there's really not much in the way of these ribs and stuff. That's what I call it, like his undersuit, you know, underneath his pieces of armor. The reason that we do this step next instead of, again, this is just for me. I know some painters, they pick one color and they get that entire color done before they move on to the next painter, or the next color. I don't do that because I tend to have very shaky hands, and I tend to mess up a lot. And so, the way that we prevent messing up is, or I shouldn't say the way we prevent messing up, but the way that we kind of ensure that our mistakes can be, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting hecka sidetracked. Hecka. I block in all the colors first, so that way, if I make a mistake, I shouldn't say if, when I make a mistake, I can correct the mistake in the next phase of painting. I don't have to keep doing it, redoing it, undoing it, and all that stuff. Everybody paints Space Marines a little different. I am no exception. Hey, it's G. It's my man G. G to the E to the... I don't know. I got nothing. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G to the H to the I to the J. Yes, I had to do the alphabet out loud to remember where G falls. Because it's just that kind of, that's about where my brain capacity is at right now. Like I said, everybody paints Space Marines a little different. I don't like the bottom of their boots to be the same color as their boot armor, because, to me, I would think that their boots would have rubber soles for traction. They wouldn't be made of metal or alloy or whatever their armor is made out of. So it would be a different color. But I don't really usually see people coloring the soles of the boots like that. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that do. I'm sure I'm not the only person in the whole world that does that. But it's just where my brain goes. I'm like, well, they are expected to traverse many different terrains. They would not have, the soles of their boots would not be the same material as the rest of their armor. And therefore, it would be a different color. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this German gray on all of that. I am going to bust out the black, though. I won't use German gray for everything, because there are a few things that I do want to be distinct in color. And we will get to those things in a moment. I feel like I should talk about something, right? What should we talk about? When I first got back into Warhammer, I really loved painting Space Marines. And then I painted so many Space Marines that I'm okay having not painted a Space Marine in quite some time. But I'm glad to be painting a Space Marine again, because I'm not painting an Ultramarine. That was the army that I painted when I got into Warhammer, was a Ultramarine army. Matter of fact, I have an Ultramarine sitting right next to me for another little project I'm going to do. Man, I'm warm. I may take my hat off, because it's pretty warm in the basement today, which is not common. It usually doesn't get warm down here. Grabbing my Racklin Flush Shade for the face. I'm going to go ahead and put a shade on that now. That's this bad boy here. I want that to dry sooner rather than later, so that I can move to the other parts of the face. Excuse me. All right, I'm just gonna let that set. I don't know if this is, I feel like the brightness on this needs to be adjusted. Hang on a second here. Which camera is this? This is the top camera. All right. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I want to go to, nope, I don't want to do that either. I want to double click on it. There we go. And I want to configure the video. Where to go? All right, there we go. Let's see here. Do I want to up the brightness? And lower the contrast? Is the contrast too high? No, the contrast is not too high. Is it the saturation? I don't know. I don't know how cameras really work in that. Is it the hue? That looks a little orange. It's pretty close on my screen anyway. Let's see a saturation. Okay, that's way too high of a saturation. That's not high enough. Alright, we'll go with that for now. That looks pretty good. If it looks too orange on your side, let me know. Oh no, that's not right. Okay, there we go. Whew. I was like, oh, I hit the wrong button. Good to have you back. It's good to be back. Thank you for welcoming me back. I apologize for not having my hat on. Like I said, it's kind of warm in the basement today. I don't know why. It's usually cold down here. It might just be because I'm not used to it. How am I feeling? I'm very, very, very tired. I'm very sleepy. Yeah, very, very sleepy. How are you? How are you feeling? I'm going to grab some Mornfang Brown. This is going to be for some of the leather parts. Some people paint the leather parts black. Normally, I paint the leather parts black. The reason that I'm painting the leather parts not black is because I want to be different. That's really the only reason. I just want to be different in this, doing this kind of guy. If you look at my ultramarine that I've started working on, you can see all of his leather bits are black. So I want to be a little different with this guy. I don't want it to feel like I'm doing anything similar to how I do my ultramarines. And Mornfang Brown might not be the color I want. I'm going to try it and see. I was thinking going for a reddish brown would fit the model well, so we'll see. What'd you say? I wish it was cold here. The UK was not built for this kind of heat. Yeah, isn't it? Well, I mean, you guys normally are colder than I think than we are anyway. And I know you have a lot of humidity because it rains a lot there. Like today, it was pretty humid here. But I only went outside for like 0.25 seconds, so. The rest of the day, I was inside. Unpacking, and my family really, really wanted to get caught up on Stranger Things because we were on vacation, so we could not watch the last 2 episodes. So as soon as we had the opportunity today, the kids were like, nope, that's what we're doing. We're watching Stranger Things because they were itching to see how it ended. So that's what we did. And now my son is messaging me on my phone asking me when we're going to go see Thor. He was like, can we go see it tomorrow? And I'm like, I would kind of prefer to wait and go see it next weekend, honestly. Not that I don't like Thor. I do like Thor a lot. But we just got back, and I really, really, really want to work on getting my basement at least in somewhat kind of what'd you say? You went away for 8 days and you're still further into it than I am. That's true, but I have a lot more freedom of when I can watch it because the whole family watches it, whereas you have to wait until the kiddos are in bed and your wife is available and Love Island's not on, which apparently isn't for another, like, you won't be free of that anytime soon. So, normally, I'm actually going to have to go grab one of my... You know what? No, I don't. I can just look it up on my phone. Let's see. So there's all the leather pouches done in the Mournfang Brown. You just got back from seeing it. Yes. You definitely did. And my sister's messaging me, and she's like, I'm about to see Thor. Because she usually asks me a bunch of questions after seeing movies, things that she doesn't understand. Because I tend to be not the expert, but I'm definitely the nerd in the family. So if anybody would know in the family, it would be me. Which doesn't say much, because a lot of times I don't know. Yeah, I like that Mournfang Brown. It looks good with the red. Okay. Let me look up. Actually, she sent me... I shouldn't say that. She said... Her text message said... it's time. And then emoji heart lightning bolt hammer. Like the emoji. The heart emoji. The lightning bolt emoji. And then the hammer emoji. So... Alright, what am I looking up? Yes, I remember now. Bear with me here a moment. Let me look up. I'm trying to look up Power Sword color schemes. Because I have not not a Power Sword, sorry, a Chain Sword. I have not painted a Chain Sword in a very, very long time. And so that is what I am looking at. Chain Swords. Yes, and I fully realize that I could paint it any color I want because it's my model. However, I want it to look cool. Okay. Ooh, I remember, like, the red. The red's cool with, like, the yellow stripes. Black with yellow stripes is kind of cool, too. His just looks like a regular power sword. I keep calling it a power sword. It's a chain sword. Chain sword, okay. I'm just going to go with that, I think. And let's see, plasma pistol. I promise I had all of this pulled up. Warhammer. Apparently plasma pistol is also a thing in, whatchamacallit, Halo. Okay. Lots of silver and the blue. Ooh, they have specific Blood Angel chain swords. That's pretty darn cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty neat. All right. Let's get out the black. Okay. Let's do that first. Let's get out the black. And then we will go... You know what? I'm going to paint... What color should I paint as Mohawk? Should I paint his Mohawk German gray too? I don't know. I just don't know what colored Mohawk. You know what? I'm not going to paint his Mohawk yet. I'm going to save it. Maybe I'll paint his Mohawk pink. Probably not, though. Don't get your hopes up. Black, okay. I'm going to use... I usually use Vallejo black. I'm going to try to use the Games Workshop black color. Alright, a few things I'm going to paint black on this miniature. I'm going to give him a black knee pad here. Just on this knee. I have kind of a color scheme in my head. So just go with me here. I kind of want to ask you how you liked Thor, but at the same time I don't want to really know, because I don't want to get my expectations high or low. I mean, I'm assuming you're not going to say it was bad. Because I would find it extremely hard to believe that it was bad, considering it is a high-budget Marvel movie. And most high-budget Marvel movies, especially these days, are far from bad. Some are more enjoyable than others, obviously. But I can't remember the last time I saw a bad Marvel movie where it was just like, yeah, that was just not good. Yeah, but what year did Iron Man 3 come out? It had to have been over 10 years ago. right? So aside from maybe Eternals, which people didn't seem to like. I haven't seen it personally. But aside from Eternals, which a lot of people didn't seem to like, there hasn't been a quote unquote bad Marvel movie since Iron Man 3. Again, some are more enjoyable than others, but I'm saying like bad. 2013, so 9 years ago. So in the last 9 years, again, aside from maybe Eternals, like I said, I haven't seen it. Hasn't been a bad Marvel movie. So I assume it's not bad. Maybe I'm just assuming. And maybe it was bad. Um, you liked Eternals. Again, some people did. And I have no opinion because I haven't seen it. So, let's see here. The problem with society is that if I don't get it, it equals bad. Yeah, that's probably true. Example, Miss Marvel, it's not for me. I'm not the target audience for it. It doesn't make it bad. That just means it's not a series I care for. WandaVision was made for me. I'm totally the audience. But there are a lot of people who didn't like it, and that's okay. Yeah, I get all that. Um, there's a lot of times where I am the target audience and I still don't like it. So, WandaVision wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. I appreciate WandaVision and what it did to set up Doctor Strange. And I appreciate WandaVision for how it started to prepare the rest of the MCU for what was coming in the future. But similar to how, in my opinion, Disney has been ruining a lot of shows with its staggered releases. I just think that is a huge, colossal mistake. But people out there don't seem to mind it when it comes to, certain fandoms. So, but, you know, Disney almost has to do it that way because they just do not have enough content. Again, unless you have children, they don't have enough content to keep adults subscribed to their service. You know what I mean? Like, unless, and I shouldn't say any adults, because there are some adults out there that love, Disney cartoons and Disney movies and they'll watch them frequently. But for the most part, if you don't have children who are watching Disney every day, there's just not a lot of content out there that's going to keep subscribers. So instead, they have to drip feed you and they have to hold your attention for at least 2 months. Grey's Anatomy is on Netflix. At least it is here. But see, that's what I mean. Like, there's so much content on. Grey's Anatomy is not on Disney here. At least not to my knowledge. It's on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's on Disney Plus here because I'll tell you a secret. I don't have Disney Plus. I did when it first came out, and again, they just aren't giving me enough content regularly to keep my attention. So, and that's the problem is like when a show like, say, Obi-Wan comes out, right? So Obi-Wan comes out. If they had released everything at once, people will sign up for the free membership if they don't already have a membership or if they haven't used it already, or pay for 1 month if they have used it already, watch the show, and then cancel. Because then there isn't more content for a while. But if they spread the show out, then people have to pay for it for at least 2 months in order to watch the whole show. So that's their marketing strategy. But the problem is, with big fandoms like Marvel and like Star Wars, the internet ruins everything. And so the second that you put out an episode, and I don't have any more content to watch, the first thing that I'm going to do is go online. And I'm going to start watching other people's opinions. I'm going to see what other people are saying. I'm going to start researching things that I saw on the show. People are going to start making TikToks and Instagrams, explaining things, finding the loopholes. By the time the next episode comes out, I've already got a theory on how things are going to play out because of the things that I've seen and the things that I've heard. And of course, people will tell you, well, then just stay off the internet. Well, sure. Don't drink water. Okay? don't drink water for a week in between episodes, and you tell me how that works. Because the internet these days is like drinking water. It's everywhere, and everybody needs it. You might need it to do your job. You might need it to order food. You may need it to check on a friend. You can't get away from the internet. And the more the time goes on, the more it's going to be like that, and it's just going to get progressively worse. It's one of the main reasons why I didn't really care for Obi-Wan Kenobi, is because by the time we got around to the finale, I'd already figured out all the big surprises that were going to happen, because I, basically live within the Star Wars community. So, again, I had time to talk to friends. I had time to watch stuff online. I had time to converse with the experts. And next thing I knew, next episode was out, and I kind of knew what was already going to be happening. And it ruined the experience for me, in a way. Things that were supposed to be, in my opinion, big moments, big reveals. I kind of had already anticipated them coming. But had I been able to watch it all in one go, again, it's the same thing with WandaVision. In my opinion, the first 2 episodes were terrible, especially as individual episodes when the show first came out. In the end, we get to see how important they are, but a lot of people had already lost their interest after watching the first 2 episodes. I had friends who I had to literally reel back in because they watched the first 2 episodes, and they were like, what is this crap? You know what I mean? And they didn't have to do that if they would have just released everything at once, because people would have consumed it all in one go, and they would have seen just how important those first couple of episodes were. But instead, they didn't even give those episodes a chance, later episodes, because it was ruined for them. The first couple episodes were not great. Now, shows that are a little bit more about characters that don't exist already, like Miss Marvel, or at least characters we don't have a big history with, they tend to be better, because people aren't, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to research afterwards, because nothing had happened yet in that particular fandom. For example, with Mandalorian each week, the episodes were kind of almost like, they were almost like standalone episodes, some of them. They weren't necessarily very important to the overarching story, because it was like, here, go do this, go on this mission. And some of the episodes, if you never even watched them, kind of okay, you know what I mean? You still got the story. I don't know. Maybe I'm just whining because I want everything all at once, but I just think that's the way that the world is moving to. Again, thanks to the internet. I was talking to somebody while I was on my trip to Costa Rica, actually. And they asked me, how come I'm not doing review videos anymore? Well, the review video world is very difficult to get into, because it's very competitive. There's a few really, really, really popular YouTubers out there already that are making videos, and sorry, hold on. I'm trying to I think that's all the black I want to do for now. I may want to do more later. We'll see. So it's very difficult to advance, I guess is what I'm trying to say, in the YouTube world when it comes to reviews anyway. Because there's just already a few really good content creators out there, and there isn't large enough space for more of that, because there's not a high demand for people's opinions about board games. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm interested in a board game, I don't need to watch 100 reviewers giving me 20 minutes of videos per review. I only need one or two of my favorites, and even then I'm probably only going to watch one. And those favorites are already established. So that's why I like painting things on my channel that are different every week. Because there's some painters out there who are only painting Space Marines. They're only painting Warhammer. They're only painting Marvel. I've already painted He-Man. What else have I painted? Soundwave, Thanos, Token Terrors. Now I'm painting a Blood Angel. Next week I'm painting something completely different. So that's why I do that. And then I do want to do the board game thing, and I want to make reviews, but I'm going to make them small. And I'm going to make them on TikTok. Because why watch a 20-minute video on YouTube if you can get the same amount of information in 1 to 3 minutes on TikTok? You know what I'm saying? And people are just wanting their information faster, because time is, like, we don't have time. You know what I mean? Like, gotta go all the time. And that's my little rant about that. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what color I want to paint next. I think I'm going to do silver. TED Talk, TikTok. I'm going to use lead belcher. I know I can't be the only person out there that feels that way about the drip feeding content. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, the world that we live in now, you just need to get us the content quicker, because people will lose interest. They will get lost. You know what I mean? You will lose people this way. I'm going to paint his, I call it his Terminator Arm. I'm going to paint his Terminator Arm this lead belcher color. And again, That's just my opinion. Some people don't mind waiting. Some people like waiting. They like being able to watch that episode over and over again a few times before the next episode. Me, I guess I just live a very fast-paced life. I'm always doing things. I don't have time to usually watch the same episode of a show multiple times. I know I'd like to. There's tons of shows I'd love to rewatch. I'd love to go back and rewatch shows that were my favorites. You know what I mean? I'd love to rewatch Battlestar Galactica. I'd love to rewatch Stranger Things from the beginning. I'd love to watch the Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff like that. But ain't nobody got time for that. You know? I watch what I can when I can. Especially if it's not something that everybody in my house likes, it makes it even more difficult. Like with Stranger Things, it was super easy because everybody was like chomping at the bit to watch it. But that's not true for Obi-Wan or Marvel shows. My wife doesn't even want to go see Thor because she's just like, she literally will tell you, she's like, I'm totally over the Marvel thing. Like, they just keep pumping out content. And it's all pretty much, in her mind anyway, the same thing, you know? Here's a hero, here's a villain, hero beats villain, you know, the day is saved, new character introduced, and that's just kind of like how her mindset is. So even getting her to go to the movies now is tough. So I usually go with just my son most of the time. And pretty soon he's going to be going off to college. So I'm going to be going by myself, I guess. Or waiting till he's home to go see something. I need a movie buddy. Who wants to move to Boston and be my movie buddy? Because I do, like, even if, you know, it's a character I don't know, or even if it's a storyline I don't care about, you know, in my opinion, not much beats going to a movie theater and seeing a Marvel movie. You know, they're just so much fun to go and watch in the theaters. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place with this miniature. It's because this metal arm is very close to the body, and I just cannot get up in there. I'm trying. That's why a lot of people really like to build Warhammer models in pieces. Because sometimes it can be difficult to get into certain parts. But I've never really been very good at that, so I just do it this way. There's some things I will build in pieces, like when I paint in pieces. When I painted Boba Fett, I painted him in a few different pieces. But he was also very easy to paint in different pieces. Sometimes they're not. Like the people that paint just the little heads separate, man, more power to you. I can't do that. I don't have the patience to paint just a head, a little Warhammer head. I just like going to the movies in general most of the time. I don't care what I go see. I mean, I don't usually want to go see, like, a romance movie, I guess, in the theaters. Like, that's not something that I need to see in the theaters. And if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't have gone to see most of the kids' movies that I've seen in theaters. Because, again, most of the time it's not something I think needs to be seen in the theater. Unless it's something that, like, you know, Toy Story or like a new Toy Story. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying. Other than that, but action movies, adventure movies, hero movies, man, they're so much fun to see in the theater. The last movie we saw in the theater was what? Jurassic World, which was so much fun to see in the theaters. Again, even if you walk out of the movie and you're like, man, that movie wasn't very good, you know, at least you got to go to the movies. Which I was not a ginormous fan of that movie. But again, I left the movie going, man, that was fun to see in theaters. I'm glad I went and saw that. I need more. No, I don't. I was like, I need more silver. No, I'm good. I don't need more silver. Oh, man. This is like my least favorite part of painting is just doing the base coats. I just want to do the detailing. What are concessions like over there for you? It really depends on what theater you go to. Most theaters, they are pretty expensive. We have found a few theaters that we like going to where they're not too bad. Recently, they haven't been as picky about you bringing your own snacks into the theaters. I think that's just with COVID. Like, you know, they understand people don't want to buy food at a movie theater. But again, that's really dependent upon the theater. Some theaters are still really like, we gotta sneak them in our, you know, in my wife's purse and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a tough question. I mean, they're always more expensive than if you buy them outside the theater, right? So, but just depending on where you go, some theaters tend to be more than others. But I also will not see a movie theater without popcorn. Or, I'm sorry, I won't see a movie without popcorn. So, regardless of how much it is, I'm always going to buy popcorn. So, even if I'm not hungry, even if I'm not hungry, I will always buy popcorn. So I pretty much just tell myself that the price of popcorn is included in the price of my ticket to the theater. Because if I can't buy popcorn, I'm not going. Getting the silver in these crevices of this chain is tough. So I am being very not gentle with it. Like, what is the point in going to a movie if you're not going to buy popcorn? Don't tell me it's to watch the movie, because we all know that we go to the theater to eat popcorn, not to watch a movie. And the worst is when you buy popcorn and it's not good. Because you know that happens sometimes. It's like, oh man, now I'm really teed off. Alright. It looks pretty okay. I feel like I didn't answer your question. I just completely avoided it. I can't. I can usually bring my own candy and stuff in my pocket. And if my wife's with me, I can even sneak in a drink. But there is no sneaking in a big bowl of popcorn, so. more silver. I don't know why it's the silver that keeps running out. I guess I've used a lot of silver. What else shall we talk about? Now that we've talked about the world that is film and television. Cool. He has a little neck seal. I gotta try and figure out how to do the neck seal. I guess I need to get my eensy weensy teeny little paintbrush here. Again, all the undersuit stuff I'm doing in German gray, just to keep it a little different from the black. Yeah, it looks pretty good for the neck seal. Kind of digging this red mohawk he's got, though. Like this fire red mohawk. I probably won't keep it that color, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Grab some more of this black here and fix my boo-boos from earlier. Get get some more black. What'd you say? Oh, you're taking off? Okay. Enjoy your sleepy sleep. And I may paint his hair black. Or his hair pink. I have not decided. We will see. We will see what happens. So right now I am just fixing my teeny tiny mistakes. Okay, that boo-boo is fixed. And then I think I'm going to I think I'm going to put wash on some of the stuff. All right. Actually, before I do the black wash, which is what I'm going to do next. Actually, there's like 2 or 3 things I'm going to do before I do the black wash. Give me a second. I'm getting out some Celestial Gray. I'm going to get a brown wash. Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to put this on the belt stuff. Again, I'm just trying to get stuff to dry so that by the time I get to it, it's already dry. I've gotten a lot better about diversifying my washes. I used to, when I painted, I would just paint the miniature in all the different colors, and then I would just throw a brown wash, over top of it, and that was, or black wash over it. I'm going to get a little corn red for the purity seal. I want that to be a kind of a different shade of red from the others. You probably won't be able to see a massive difference, if any at all. But I will, so I guess that's kind of the point, huh? So I'm just going to rapid fire start putting stuff on my palette. So next is going to be Screamer Pink. This is going to be for the inside of the mouth. I'll grab my tiny brush for that. Again, this is just to let certain things dry, and then I'm just going to dab this all on the inside of his mouth. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there with the face, but... Alright, let's see. Where am I going to put washes? I'm going to grab that Agrax Earthshade again real quick. I'm going to put that on the Purity Seal. Where'd my music go? Cancel. Press play, bro. There we go. Okay. Alright, now we're going to switch over to the Nuln Oil for the black wash. This is going to be for all the black stuff that we painted and the silver stuff. So we're going to put this all over this guy here. Definitely want to get it up in this Terminator arm. It's going to make that arm look super cool. Kind of all over the place. I wanted to paint this thing here the same color as the crest. I think I'm going to paint his hair pink for G. Alright. Gotta put the Nuln Oil on that cross on his arm. And then I'm going to bust out the yellow. Okay. Time to bust out the yellow. So a little trick that I learned when painting yellow. Usually my models are primed in Wraithbone, and then I just use a contrast paint for the yellow. But in this case, I can't do that because I didn't prime it that way. So what we're going to do is we are going to try the purple paint method. So I have Averland Sunset. That's going to be my base yellow. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this Nogroth Night in it. It helps somehow with the yellow. I don't know the physics behind it, but it really does help. So it's way too much yellow. Okay. Makes it like a mustardy color, almost. But I promise it works. Seriously, what is this? Get on wavelength. It's like I already have Apple Music, and for some reason, Apple Music just keeps popping up saying, I don't know if it's because I'm not logged in. It's a little weird. I don't know if I should paint this knee yellow or just leave it red. I think I'm going to leave it red. I thought about painting it yellow, but his helmet's yellow, so... Let that yellow dry for a minute. I'm going to go back to silver. How's everybody doing? I realize I'm not talking much. I'm kind of in the zone. Alright, I think I'm liking how that looks, okay. What am I doing? Oh, yes. I'm going to do Cerium Sepia on these yellow bits. Put some on this purity seal too. It didn't really turn out the way that I'd hoped that it would. All right. I'm going to finish the face and move on to something else. I'm going to grab some pink horror. I don't need a lot. Kind of put a lot on my palette, but that's alright. My small brush. This isn't even my small brush. This is my small brush. Cool. Hey, Tony. Sorry, I haven't looked up to the chat in a while because nobody was in here chatting. I was talking to myself. My vacation was good. It was really good. I guess I didn't realize how much I needed to just unplug for a bit, you know? So yeah, it was good. Wow, that eye is terrible. Okay, eyes are jacked up. I might be able to fix them. We shall see. My wrists are, knock on wood, about 95% better, I would say. 95 seems like a good number. Which is great. This is the first time I've painted pain-free in like 2 months. So yay for Louie. Yeah, so it's good to be back, and it's good to be not hurting anymore, you know? And hopefully it stays that way. I'm going to continue to do what I was doing up until the shots, because I don't know if it was the shots that did it or if it was the routine that I had up until the shots. So I'm going to continue with my routine, at least until I know for sure. If I ever do know for sure, you know? All right. We did it. Right. And the goal is to never have to go back to the doctor again, right? That is the goal. So it's just so nice to not have to worry about at the moment. How have you been? I saw you're moving soon, so that's exciting. Finally getting that knocked out. Light at the end of the tunnel for the hours. I mean, that's. Are they finally giving you some help? That's what it sounds like you need. Some reliable help. It sounds like you absorb a lot of the crap because they don't have anybody else. At least nobody else that's willing to take the crap the way you are. Ooh, dropped him. Don't do that. One person fully trained and another that's in training. Nice. Yeah, that's what you need, man. It sounds like you just need some help. Some help that's available. Sorry I'm not talking much. Alright, I am pretty happy with the yellow for now, I think. I'm pretty happy with the white. I'm pretty happy with the leather. Work on the skin a little bit. And then we will start working on the red. I have not decided what I'm going to do with the base, if anything, today. I may save that for another video. I have not yet decided on how I'm going to do that. A lot will depend on time, mostly because usually I don't like to give myself a hard stop for It's So Tiny, but I do have to work tomorrow. I didn't work today, and I need to work on readjusting my body to the time change. And last night I did not sleep very long, so because I was trying to adjust to the time change. So I was like, well, I'll just deny myself good sleep or long sleep. And then, of course, today I woke up and I was like, why did I do that? You're at work now anyway, catch up, but yeah, of course, love having you. Appreciate you coming in, even if you can only drop in for a second. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Oh, shit. No! No! So what happens when you don't make sure that all the water is off of your paintbrush? You get drips of paint sometimes. Watched a bunch of good movies. I ended up watching like backlog movies that I've been trying to watch, but haven't been able to on the plane. So let's see, going down, what did I watch? I watched 2 movies. I watched Hustle with Adam Sandler, which was fan-freaking-tastic. It was really, really good. And what else did I watch? Going down. Oh, Red Notice with The Rock, Gal Gadot, and what's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Ryan something. Why can I not think of it? Ryan Reynolds. Gosh. Brain. Work, Louie. So I'm grabbing some Mephiston Red now, and I'm going to be kind of adding some more brightness back to the red that kind of got muted from the wash. So yeah, Red Notice and Hustle. Watched those on the way down. And then on the way back, I watched The Atom Project, another Ryan Reynolds movie, which was, of the 4 movies that I watched, my favorite. And Knives Out with a whole bunch of people. Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, and a bunch of people that I'll never remember. So I'm not going to try. Yes, time travels to his younger self. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Very, very good movie. The kid that plays his younger self, like, outdoes himself. Like, he, very, very good introduction to his career. And I hope he makes it, because he did a really, really great job. Yeah, Knives Out was okay. It wasn't like I was kind of hoping it was going to be this big, oh snap, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I kind of guessed most of it. There was only like one part that I didn't really already have figured out. I guess that was kind of like a bit of a shock moment, but I won't mention it here just because I don't want to ruin it for anybody that may watch. But I mean, it was good. It was worth watching once, I guess. And man, I really liked Tussle. That was great too. I'd be really careful with this part. Now that we're super close to, I wouldn't say super close, but now that we're getting closer to finishing the model, you just want to make sure that you're just careful. I'm going to grab a little drop of Nuln Oil, just a little bit, to put into the eyes of this helmet. Just to make them a little bit more distinguished. I'm also going to do the same thing with the little skull on the helmet, too. Just a blip. Grabbing some Evil Sun Scarlet. This will be primary highlight color here for the red. One of the big issues I'm having with this red, actually the only issue I'm having with this red, is the red that I primed the miniature in is made by a different company than the red that I have in the pot. So I'm going to struggle with getting the tones to match exactly. But as long as they're pretty close, it shouldn't be super visible or noticeable to the naked eye here. Did you go see Thor yet? I say go see it yet, but it only came out tonight, and I'm assuming if you're at work, you have not gone to see it. Yeah, I might wait until next weekend. Theaters have started to get a little busier than they have been, which doesn't really bother me too much, but you know, with us having just gotten back and stuff, I'd rather just not go out anywhere if I don't have to. I know Gabe really wants to go see it though, so we will see it. I just don't know exactly when. I'll probably make him wait until next week. All right, I'm pretty happy with this, honestly. I just gotta paint the energy on the thing here. I'm gonna start with a base coat here of what is this? Calidor Sky. Nice blue. Alright, then I'm going to grab some Techless Blue. and then some Lowthorn blue. I know there's like fancy ways of doing this. I just can't be bothered to do them. I'll do a little fancy. I'll grab some Althuan Gray. Mix it in with the Lowthorn blue. All right, I'm gonna do some transfers because I've never done it before. and I'd like to make a tip video about it, but I need to do it first in order to do that. So we're going to give it a go. So what are transfers? Well, they're like tattoos that go on your miniature. So here are some transfers. You pretty much get these anytime that you get miniatures that have, from GW that is, miniatures that have symbols. So in this case, we are working with Blood Angels, so all of these logos here will work for Blood Angels. So the two that I think I'm going to use is one of these black ones here, and I think I may use this number 2 here as well. So let's give it a go. I've never done this before. I have watched videos on how to do it, but I myself have never done it. So you guys are going to be experimenting with me. So we need the transfer, obviously, and we need a knife, which we have here, and we need some water, which I have here. So first thing that we want to do is pick out which logos we want and then cut them out. So there's one. And here is 2. All right. So I'm going to make them just a little bit smaller. Piece, and I don't need, sticking to my fingers here, I don't need this here. Alright, and then somebody said to leave a little mark in the center, so that way when you're putting it on, it kind of folds around the thing. Folds around the circle. So now I'm going to take a paper towel here, and I'm going to dampen the paper towel with the water. And then I'm going to take the transfer, if I can pick it up. Recommend doing this with tweezers, by the way. And that's what they recommended as well, so. Just putting a little water on there to make sure it's nice and damp. Again, this is like temporary tattoos. For your miniature, essentially. And it's basically where this shoulder pad here, we're going to put a logo on it. That's what this teardrop is going to be. So you let it sit for about a minute or so. Should work. I'm going to pick it up and move it over. I'm going to have to put the model down, aren't I? And then basically just the trans over to the model. Like, ooh, I'm struggling. Oh, don't use your dry fingers to do this, by the way, because it's going to try and stick to your fingers. They say to use a wet paintbrush so you can move the transfer and put it where you want it before it dries. I'm doing a really bad job, by the way, because I'm being really picky about where I want it. And the the water is not letting it work. It's not making it move. I'm glad I'm experimenting with this now and not when I'm making a tip video about it. I may need another one of these. I think I do. Alright, now we understand the concept, though. Okay. That's why we're doing this here, people. That's why we're doing this. Alright, we're going to take this little guy here. We're going to put it here on this shield on the front. The problem is I'm trying to do this with on camera. All right. There we go. That one went on pretty good. Okay. Let me cut out another one of the Blood Angel things. It's a good thing you get a lot of them. Oh boy. Experimentation. guess I don't need this anymore, huh? I just pulled it off with my wet brush. I don't know why this one doesn't want to move, man. They said the shoulder ones were the hardest. Oh my gosh. I'm also remembering now I didn't make that little slit in this one the way I did the other one. Okay. Alright, you little bugger. One more time. Oh man. This is crazy. I guess that's why we're experiencing. See, when I did my Ultramarines, like all of my Ultramarines, I got the, I feel like I went on Etsy. I know I went on Etsy. And I got some 3D printed, what do you call them? Chapter symbols to go on the shoulder pads. So I didn't have to do this for my Ultramarines. But when I decided to paint this Blood Angel, I didn't have those. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do transfers. And I was like, you know what, I can just figure it out on stream. Never done transfers before. Should be pretty easy. And sure as heck, don't you know, not as easy as it looks, folks. Not as easy as it looks. Fellow Blood Angel player, welcome, fellow Blood Angel player. You were working on 30k Horse Heresy. Ooh. Those 30k Horse Heresy models are super nice. I need to get some to paint on stream. Right now I'm just painting a Primaris Intercessor Sergeant. But welcome. That's super cool. Usually on my channel I don't paint like the same thing every week. So like I'm painting Warhammer this week. Last week I painted, what was the last thing I painted? Was it Thanos? I think it was this Thanos from Marvel United. I've painted He-Man, Soundwave. I just paint all kinds of different stuff. But I have never used transfers before. So right now we are experimenting with transfers. Experimenting with transfers. I got this one on just fine. But I am failing at getting this shoulder one on. Come on. I'm going to take this off with my paintbrush. Now I'm just getting, like, pieces on my fingers. Ugh, why is this being so difficult? Did that fold over? Or did I lose it completely? Dang, I lost that thing completely. It came off completely. Alright, I swear to God, we're going to do one more and then I'm done. If it does not work this time, I will just go on Etsy and buy one of those darn things. Okay. Let's find a good one. Have you ever used transfers before? If you have, would love any advice you could offer here, because I am just failing at it miserably. Bolt action. I don't know what bolt action is. Is that historical? Is that like the one with like the really, really tiny miniatures? I want to say it's historical, I think. After I get this transfer on, I'm going to paint this base probably a sandy color so that next time when I do like some foliage and stuff, I can throw some sand and some tufts on there. But that's probably not going to be today. Just because, like I said, last night was a late night. We got back from vacation, and then now I'm up late doing this. I'm going to put him on the side here. Let's see if I can just slide it off onto the miniature. Let's give that a shot. I feel like someone somewhere is laughing hysterically right now at how badly I'm failing at doing this. Haha. Alright, I got it on there. So now I need to adjust it. Alright, let's get my damp. Did I get it? Did I actually get it? Ha-ha! Look at me go. I had a little scrape, couple little scrapes on the red though, so I'm gonna fix that real quick. Probably from my brush scraping the That's cool. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. Finally got it after, what was that, 4 attempts? Not bad for my first time. I guess when I go to make my tip video on how to do that for TikTok, I need to do it better. Yeah, I need to work that out ahead of time. I'm figuring it out, yep. Alright. The transfer is awfully shiny. I think there's ways that I can dull that shine down, though. Alright, I'm going to grab Steel Legion Drab. That's the brown that I'm going to use for the base. Like I said, this is kind of like, it's not really a Band-Aid, but if I had a little more time, I would throw some stuff on there for the doing like foliage and stuff like that, but and maybe I'll just do it off camera too, and then just upload. We'll see. See how tomorrow goes. At a return to the world of working tomorrow after having been off for however many days I was off. How many days was I off? 8 days from work? No. I don't remember. Honestly. Let's see, my last day at work was... We left on Tuesday. So my last day of work was Monday, last Monday. So it was 4 days last week I wasn't working, and 4 days this week, although Monday was a holiday. So yeah, 8 days. Eight work days, of course. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the primer that I used. It was my first time trying that brand. The only thing that I didn't like is when I looked online, everything that I found said that Mephiston Red from GW was the same shade of red as Vallejo's red, and I couldn't find Mephiston Red in a spray. So I got the Vallejo red in the spray to spray the miniature, and then I was just going to use Mephiston Red as, like, you know, my highlight base and stuff like that. But as you saw when I was painting, they kind of weren't even close to the same color red. So that made things a little more challenging, but all good. All good. We figured it out. But I like the smoothness of that Vallejo spray. It gave good coverage, and like I said, I kind of liked the consistency of it. So 8 out of 10. I would use it again, but because I primarily use Citadel paints, I prefer to stick with similar stuff, for that reason. Because you make a mistake and you need to cover it up with the paint you have, and you don't have the matching pot, then you're kind of up a creek without a paddle. All right, well, I think that's all she wrote. Like I said, I am going to do something with that base. I just am not 100% what yet on what I'm going to do. I am going to put something on that decal so that I don't lose it. They say to use Ard Coat, so it's going to give it a bit of a shine, but I can dull that shine down supposedly with other stuff. So I'm actually going to put it on my palette. It's quite transparent there. Alright, so it's going to be a little shiny. I'm going to let it sit overnight, those transfers, and then I'll do up some pictures and stuff. But I gave him the pink mohawk. That was for G, because he's always telling me to paint stuff pink. Finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give him something pink. So he is a Primaris Sergeant. Sergeants usually have a different colored helmet from everybody else. So you see his helmet is yellow. The yellow shoulder pad also lets us know that he's a sergeant. I believe the 2 just indicates what squadron he's part of, or what platoon or whatever. So we're going to say 2nd platoon of this Blood Angel squadron. And then there is his Blood Angel logo on his arm. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way he turned out. I do wish that I had done some more highlighting on the red. But honestly, for a first attempt at a Blood Angel, he looks pretty great, honestly. I like it a lot. Yeah. I'll put put that on there tomorrow. So if you don't catch, this is another trick that somebody showed, or that I saw, was once this ard coat dries, it dries very glossy. So you put some of the medium on there to dull the gloss down. So if you see right now, that shoulder pad is really glossy. But hopefully putting that medium over top of it will... It's not dry yet, so I don't want to do it now. Alright, so we're going to call them done for now. I may do the base tomorrow, off camera. I might do the base off camera tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. But that's it. That's my first attempt at a Blood Angel in 21 years. Let's do another quick comparison. Guy on the left, that is a 20-plus year old Space Marine model. This is from 3rd edition. I believe these particular models came out in 2nd edition, but I got mine when 3rd edition came out. I was a senior in high school when I got this model, and you can see it's been through the ringer. And then over here on the right, we have a Primaris Space Marine, who is a sergeant, and he is... You can definitely see my skills in painting have changed quite a bit, so, which I think is pretty cool. Anyway, let me switch over to my other camera. Let's put on the hat for the outro, huh? Had to take it off earlier because it was super hot. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. I'm very happy to be back from vacation, wrist pain-free. I painted the whole model with no pain, which was great. That makes me feel happy. I'll be back again next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on twitch.tv/Circle of Nerds. These then get uploaded to YouTube, youtube.com/Circle of Nerds. Also, make sure you're following all of my social media. I have a giveaway coming up very soon. I'm thinking like the first week in August, maybe, over on Instagram. So make sure you check that out, at The Real Daddy Louie. And, of course, you can check out my Facebook and my TikTok at It's So Tiny. And I think that's all of my stuff. Make sure that you are subscribed to both YouTube, and go ahead and subscribe here on Twitch. Right now I have a 5 subscriber Twitch goal, and I currently have 0. So help me out. Drop a subscribe here on Twitch. And, sorry, I'm itching. Bugs bites from Costa Rica. And I think that's it. I think that's all my plugs. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Play your games. Paint your miniatures. And I will see you next week. Take care. Rolling the outro by pressing the button now.
It's so tiny.